Hello everyone, my name is Michael and welcome to my teaching series on different activities and methods and strategies to help the classroom teacher. Today's video segment is on the respiratory system. We're going to actually construct a working model of the respiratory system. Um, those of you that are not science teachers, feel welcome. Please welcome yourselves as far as watching this video segment, because you may have a child in middle or high school that that may need some reinforcement or is constructing a science fair activity, or is has a project to construct any type of working model in the classroom. Yes, this is going to be an actual working model of the respiratory system. And the beauty of this is it's very simple to construct, and you don't need any complex tools or any of that sort of thing to make this model. Also, another advantage of this activity is you can incorporate teachers extra credit in this activity, meaning what I do in my classroom is when the groups begin constructing the model, I tell my kids before they start constructing, I said, okay, look, we're going to make this into a competition. Everyone's going to receive a daily grade, a daily activity grade on this. However, I'm going to give you extra credit points. And the first group that constructs the model properly will receive 15 extra credit points toward your lowest grade, whether it's a daily grade or a major grade. The second group will receive 10 points, and the third group will receive 5 points. But everyone's required to work on this, even though extra credit is built into this activity, everyone's required to work on the model. Teachers, science teachers, I do want to give you a warning. The only caveat in this particular activity is, if I were you, I would not implement this model until near the end of your unit on respiration. Why? Because the students need to be familiar or have a background knowledge of the terms regarding the respiratory system, such as the pharynx, the larynx, the trachea, the bronchial tubes. What exactly do the lungs do? What does the diaphragm do? So forth and so on. So if you do it at the beginning of the unit, you're just going to simply frustrate them, and you're not going to get full bang for your buck, so to speak. Okay, and they're not going to enjoy it. If they don't understand it and they're just going through an activity, they're not going to enjoy it. They have to have full knowledge of the respiratory system in order to build a model. Remember, you're giving materials out to a group of adolescents. They have no idea what these represent, and I'm going to go over the parts. And when we present the parts of the model, if they have background knowledge of the respiratory system, they're going to know what to do. Okay, without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the different parts. Now, teachers, if I were you, and you don't have to do this, but if I were you, I would draw these parts on the board and then go over these parts as your pre-lab before you allow your students to make the model. If you cannot draw very well and illustrate very well, you have some options. You can get one of your colleagues to come and draw some of these objects on the board, that you're not able to do so well, or you can use a document camera. You can take pictures and have illustrations of each one of these pieces and place them on a document camera. if you don't want to bother any of your colleagues. So that's what I would do if I were you. Okay, so let's go over the parts. Um, all you would need is a 2-liter bottle, preferably a clear 2-liter bottle. The green ones I'm not too crazy about. You can use it, it can work, but I would rather a clear 2-liter bottle with the bottom cut. You're going to have to cut out the bottom, and obviously you use scissors to do that. The next part is a 1/2 inch coupling. Now, the rest of these parts that I'm going to show you, you can find these in the hardware store, in your local hardware store, in your plumbing section of your hardware store. So the next part is a 2-inch coupling, and this is how it comes, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to cut it. You just go into your hardware section of your plumbing section of your hardware store and ask or look for a 1-inch, a 1/2 inch coupling. That's what you're looking for, a 1/2 inch coupling. All right. The next part is a 1/2 inch T, a 1/2 inch T, and minus the balloons. This is the way it comes in a T. You don't have to cut it. It's there at your plumbing section of your hardware store. Now, I attached the balloons on the T just to save time in this video. You don't want to, I know all of you don't want to be watching me attach balloons to a T when obviously they're going to be the lungs, okay? And next, this is the part that you're going to have to cut. You need a 1/2 inch PVC pipe, a 1/2 inch PVC pipe that is 4.5 inches in length. 4.5 inches in length. So you're asking yourself, some of you are probably asking yourself, well, how do I cut it? Do I need a saw or a power tool? No, you don't need that. All you need is a tool called a pipe cutter, a PVC pipe cutter, okay? And this is what it looks like, a PVC pipe cutter. And how it works, it has a ratchet mechanism, and as you squeeze it each time, the blade will advance against the support, the cutting support, and cut the PVC pipe. So what you do is you place the pipe inside your cutting tool, and as you squeeze, each time you squeeze the trigger, the blade will sink into the PVC pipe, and believe me, it's not hard at all. You can do this very, very easily, okay? Not a problem. So this is really the only tool that you need, besides the scissors that you'll need to cut out the bottom of the 2-liter bottle. And another part that you're going to need is, this is called a 4-inch coupling. And yes, it's in your plumbing area of your hardware store. It comes like this, okay? And this is called a 4-inch coupling for the large pipes that run probably outside of your house. It's probably part of your sewage system in the ground, okay, of your house. Okay, this is one of the largest pipes that you'll find in a plumbing configuration. Okay, so you'll need it's called a 4-inch coupling. Okay, so let me quickly go over the parts again. 4-inch coupling, half-inch PVC pipe that's 4.5 inches in length, half-inch coupling, half-inch T with balloons, 2-liter bottle, and last but not least, you're going to have to attach a quart size Ziploc bag, and you're going to attach it onto the 4-inch coupling. And I have one that's already attached, so I'm going to show you here. See how far you attach it, and then you just tape it on there with some packing tape or any other tape that you might want to use. You can use packing tape, you can use duct tape, however you want. But this is a quart size Ziploc bag. Now obviously, well, you probably can find it at your larger hardware store. So it's all one-stop shopping, people, if you go to your larger hardware stores. I'm not going to advertise names. All of you know where these stores are. Okay, so a caveat to this is you're going to have to stretch the opening of the Ziploc bag just a little bit to get it to fit onto the 4-inch coupling. Okay, and then you tape it like so. Okay, right here, and you can see where the lip is right here. You can see where it is. Okay, all right, let's construct the model. Okay, now on your form, on your activity sheet, this is what I would do. When you design your activity sheet, you would tell the students on your activity sheet, what does the 2-liter bottle represent? Now remember, you are also introducing each one of the items that are found in the model before they start. So you would say, kids, this is our 2-liter bottle. This is our 1/2-inch coupling. This is our PVC pipe. This is our T. Here are our balloons. And here's our 4-inch coupling with the plastic bag. Okay, you go over all that. On your activity sheet, what you should type, or when you construct it, you should ask them questions like, what does the 2-liter bottle represent in our activity? What does the 1/2-inch coupling represent in our activity? What does the PVC pipe represent in our activity? What does the 1/2-inch T represent in our activity? What do the balloons represent in our activity? What does the 4-inch coupling with the bag attached, what does that represent in our activity? Okay, without further ado, let us construct a model. What I would do first is I would place the 1/2-inch coupling on the 1/2-inch pipe, PVC pipe, like so. I would insert this into the top of the 2-liter bottle, like so. Next, I would attach the balloons onto the T. Next, I would insert the T onto the pipe. Now here's what the students are going to do. I've done this so many years, and here's you're going to see some groups of students doing this. And so as you walk around, you're going to ask them, I would ask them, okay, so what are these white things? What are they for? And they're going to say, well, they look like lungs, Mr. Ross. They look like lungs. So you ask them, okay, so you have lungs, right? Yeah, we got lungs. So are they found on the inside of your body or the outside of your body? Then you'll see that light come on. Oh! And then they'll correct themselves. So what they'll do is they'll put it in properly. You know, that's the only clue that I would give them. Other than that, I'm not going to give them any clues. All right. So then you attach the 2-liter bottle onto the 4-inch coupling, and then you can operate the bag. And obviously, the bag represents the diaphragm. Now, I have preached to my students over and over and over and over that the lungs are basically two passive sacs that, yes, they perform the gas exchange with carbon dioxide and oxygen in the blood. Yes, they perform that. Yes, but they're breathing. The mechanism of breathing does not happen unless you have the diaphragm. So here are your answers. Here's the pharynx, or the throat. Okay, we don't ever say throat when we're working on the respiratory system with my students. We never use the word throat. We say pharynx. Then you have the trachea. Okay, and then the T will represent the bronchial tubes, and then the balloons will obviously represent the lungs, and then of course the 4-inch coupling mechanism will represent the part of the diaphragm. And then you'll see a light come on once they start operating the diaphragm. As the diaphragm contracts and expands and contracts, you'll start to see, they'll start seeing the process of breathing. And then you'll get the, oh, cool, oh, cool, okay? All right, so, yes, here is the working model of the respiratory system. You don't need any elastic, big elastic, let me see, membrane to make this model. All you need is a plastic bag. And here we go. Okay? Now, again, make sure when you construct your activity sheet, make sure you ask them what each part represent. What does this coupling represent? What does this tube represent? What does this T represent? What does the balloons represent? What does the 4-inch coupling represent? Have them explain to you on their activity sheet what these things represent and what the function of each one of these are. Okay, so I am glad to be able to have the privilege of not only designing this model, but also sharing it with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what I'm saying. I will come up with some other videos in the very, 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 very near future. Most of these are geared towards science since I was a science teacher. But I'll be coming up with some more video segments. So thank you for your time. Until next time, we'll be seeing you.